Yes.
Looking to see if you've considered possibly selling.
Oh, no, thank you.
Okay. Do you have any other properties
Okay.
you would consider selling by chance?
Well, I'm a home builder, so you can buy all my houses if you want to.
Oh, you're a builder. All right. Awesome. Are you
Yeah.
building some now then?
I have 2 for sale right now if you want them, and they have renters inside of them. And the rental contract's due December.
Okay. What are those addresses? All right. And you said they're rentals for you?
Yeah, they're rentals right now, and I'd love to get rid of them. They're brand new houses, so I built them. And I actually, if somebody was willing to buy them, especially since there's renters in them, I would cut a really fucking great deal.
All right. What did the renters pay?
One of them pays 24, one of them pays 23. I'm pretty sure.
What price you looking to get for them?
So I just put one listed for like 368, which is actually slightly below other square footages in there. But if somebody were to come in and buy these things like today, I would read down to, I will take for 920, which is 2,060 square feet, four bedroom. Let me think. I had this number already. I think I'll take, what was it, 320, 325, which is fucking steal.
Right.
And then on 924, I would take 350. I think is the number I had on there for the low ball, which is, it's a bigger house. It's like, but it's a 2-story. It's nice too. So like I said, they're brand new homes. They actually still have warranties on everything. So
did you build them and then you couldn't get them sold, so you decided to rent them?
that's exactly right.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. So you would just
those numbers I just gave you. I mean, they're low, right?
Right. Yeah.
The average house in that neighborhood goes for like like 185, $180 to $185 a square foot. Yep. And but that price I just gave you knocks you down to like I'll tell you. Let's see, 320 because I can tell you that's the right number. 320 is 60. Yeah, that puts you all the way down to like $155 a square foot. So you'd be walking into a pretty nice little deal.
Right. Okay, so they're brand new. There's no.
It allowed me to free up some cash if somebody bought them. That's why, yeah. So
were they built just this year, or 2023?
2023. Yep.
Okay. And then you just need to get out of them. What you were
I
trying
to
get
out of them
to start with. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. I'm pretty sure it was 320s where I was at on that one. Is that like 320, 325? I look at the number again if we were actually going to make a deal. But I mean, it's a steal no matter what. 320, 325, you're looking $20, $30 under a square foot, right?
Right.
So
yeah.
it's a deal.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
and like I said, and they're already rented too. So if you're a cash buyer, if you're cash, it works out real fucking well because you're not paying that current interest rates, and that the rental is a pretty nice. But obviously with the interest rate on top of it, the rentals aren't awesome, right?
Right. You wouldn't be open to terms, would you?
We can talk about it.
Okay. Great. And then, is there any other decision makers that we'd have to bring into the conversation?
Nope, just me.
Partner or anything? Okay. All right. And the best callback time, any time, or is there a time of day that's better?
Yeah, that's fine. If you're interested, if you're actually interested, you can call me whatever the hell you want.
Okay. For sure.
Right?
Yep. Gonna help you out and get you some money? Call me. Okay.
Exactly.
And then if you don't sell them, you'll keep renting them, right? That's just the plan.
That's exactly right. Yep.
And then when?
Yeah, like right now, I have a little bit of interest on them. I'm paying. It's not super fun to pay. So I think it puts me at like, I'm pretty close to break even with payments. I'm not making any money or anything, but I'm also making cash flow on them. So,
right.
Well, like I said, I'd love to get the cash out of them. That way, I just have the cash out of them,
Right. Okay. Great. When did you say those leases ended?
December 5th, I believe it is. So.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure there's something to work on that too, because like I said, once again, getting rid of them is the key. So.
Right. Okay, and then is there anything else that we need to know as we're evaluating these?
I mean, solid new construction, full irrigation, full sod, full fence.
Okay.
Yeah, good looking houses.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. We'll look them out. I'll get them over to our property specialist. They'll give you a call back if they think it's something they can then work with. So.
Okay, that
All right.
sounds great.
Appreciate talking to you. All right. Thanks.
All right, thank you so much. Bye bye.
Bye.
All right, good stuff. Marcy. Let's have you go first. That's the first time you're hearing that call. What did you think of it? What's your feedback?
I'm not sure it's a deal, but I sent it through anyway. And I think I got all 4 pillars. I still think I need to be a little bit more conversational, or like, I don't know, dig deeper, but I felt pretty good about it.
Yeah, it'd be more conversational. What ideas come to mind of how you could have been more
I
conversational?
mean, I don't know, like, that's what I'm not good at. And so, like, just digging deeper, but he told me, I mean, I felt like he told me what I needed to know. But I just am not like great at, like, what, I don't know. I tried on this one to repeat some things he says, like mirror, and to label a little bit. So I don't know.
Okay, all right. Well, let's we can spark some ideas here for you. Who has feedback? Anybody have feedback for her?
I'll go first off this today. Marcy, good job on that call. I can tell you're trying to implement some of the feedback that we're giving you. It's a little challenging, right? To just be more conversational. So in that vein, what I would say is being more conversational. This guy was talking a little bit fast. He was a little bit on the faster side. Like maybe he was doing something. He was maybe driving or something like that. So we do need to match, and mirror people like that. But on your end, I would try to slow down a little bit. You know what I mean? It was big back and forth. Like, hey, it's this, like kind of back and forth. And that might be the tempo of the call. Okay, that might be where he's moving, and you kind of want to stay in there. If you can, you'll slow it down a little bit and dig into. He gave you a lot of loose threads, as Graham would say, with what he's got going on. Okay, so I forget what he said. He has it listed at 560 or something like that. Did he say that?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, he said he had it listed though. Pretty sure he said he had it listed. So it's always good when we get these calls like that. Like, hey, they really want to sell. He's like giving us his cash, cash price and everything. We still want to go through the numbers, go through the steps, and say, hey, what else have you got? Okay, you got renters in there. You did a good job of guessing his pain, right? Like, what, you built it and you couldn't sell it? He's like, yep, that's exactly what happened. But there might be something else that happened too. Okay, so sometimes builders, they need to get them sold. The backup plan is to rent them out or something like that, or do something else with it. He said he might be open to creative. So my feedback is to amplify his pain a little bit more. Okay. So if he's willing to sell at a discount, a fucking great deal that he said, excuse me if there's any kids here, but he's like, it's a fucking great deal. Okay. Well, people don't just give away money, they don't just give away money at all. So there's something else going on, likely, that's causing some pressure on him. What I would want to know, he said, okay, it's going to free up some cash, Hey, okay. Say we're buyers. If we're serious about buying, we're still selling. We're serious about buying. Say we get this all buttoned up, come to an agreement. Well, what's next? What are you going to do with that capital? What's the next project? You still building? Because you couldn't sell these, so you're not building in the same area, right? Building costs haven't changed, have gone up or anything. So, what's next for you? We might be able to bring him some value there. I don't know I don't know what he has, planned next. What is he going to do with that money? Does he need that money to survive? Doesn't sound like it. Doesn't sound like he's in distress, but you never know. So amplify his pain. Those things that he said he's paying some interest. That's not super fun to pay. Okay, tell me about that interest. Like what is that? What's going on with that? Because if we do this creative, we might assume that or take that loan over, subject to. So he was moving quickly, and it's easy to get swept up in it. And it's exciting, right? It may be a good deal or a good lead, hot lead, and that's fine. I like the excitement and be excited. just sit on those things that he gives you, because he gave you a lot of great little nuggets. That's the feedback I have on that. But great, great call. And this is for everybody in the room. Again, going back to the beginning of the call, who remembers how this call started? Hey, calling about 123 Pine Street. Are you interested in possibly selling? Nope. He said, nope. He's about to hang up. Okay, great. Do you have any other properties that you're interested in selling? Well, I'm a builder, so you can buy all my properties. He was not going to tell her that. He literally is a builder trying to sell these places. He was going to hang up on her. But she said those magic words. Great. Any other properties? What other properties? To tighten that up a little bit more, instead of making it a yes or no question, what other properties do you have that you might possibly be interested in selling? And he would have opened up with those. But everybody, remember, at the beginning of that call, it could have very easily been a hang up, not interested, next lead. This turns into something that is possibly a great lead for the relationship too. If this guy's a builder, we might be able to find buyers for his builds, or find, I don't even know, the possibilities are endless. You see what I'm saying? So I want everybody to start thinking, think big. If any call, your next call could be the call that changes your life. The next person that you meet could be the person that changes your life. The next decision that you make could be the decision that changes your life. Shad spoke earlier this week about a team member that used some of the techniques and knowledge and learning here to go buy a property by her creatively. Okay, so I want everyone to be thinking in those terms. Okay, so it's each call could be that call. Okay, and it could not be, but it also could be. So there's a lot of things that we can draw out of a call if we just say the right things. It's like having the right combination, and then the lock opens up. Okay, great job though. Good job. I appreciate you bringing all these calls to calibrate. It's really, really helpful for everybody to kind of see this progression and to see these points, these talking points. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, great feedback, Cody. You nailed it. You got everything I was going to say. Marcy, great job not bailing on the call. That's the perfect example of how to squeeze a lead. I think this could be a very good lead, because all it's going to take is a couple of those tenants doing something, to that property, and then this guy's just going to lose his mind. And I do believe that this is a really good lead, because there is pain there. Like, this guy doesn't want to keep the properties. So if you read between the lines, he's a landlord that does not want to be a landlord. That's motivation. That's great. And he led up to it. He's like, yeah, I'll sell him at a discount right now. The thing is, he's probably not selling at a discount. The market's sliding. So he's, he's just selling it for current market value, as opposed to what he was trying to sell it for before. He can't get what he was trying to sell it for before. So now he's coming to today's market. And I think from here, it's probably going to keep sliding. I know my house here, our house here in Arizona, the values dropped by almost 50K from what we bought it a year and a half ago. So it is what it is. We're not planning on selling. Like, I don't care about the equity portion of it. It doesn't matter right now, right? We got a great deal. We're keeping it. We're going to keep it for a very long time. And I have no doubt when the market rebounds, it'll be worth way more than what we bought it for. It's just going to take time. This guy doesn't have that time, probably. And kudos, Cody, I put it in the chat, active listening, where he said, what did he say? I'm making payments that I don't want to, or interest that I don't want to, or whatever, something like that.
Yeah, it's not super fun making these interest payments. He's saying.
Not super fun, yeah. So he's probably paying 9, 10, 11, 12, like who knows what percent, on those, but he can't sell them. So what is he going to do? Like, he's like, okay, well, let me bleed a few $100s a month, as opposed to bleeding, whatever, 2,000, or I don't know, who knows, whatever it is. So even if it's not a deal right now, this is definitely one to put into the pipeline, and then let the lead manager team, acquisitions team, go ahead and follow up with them, see what they can work out over time. So good work. Great call.
I did think about after I hung up, like, I wonder what he meant by that interest, but I was just like too slow, and okay. I just have to get I'm calling it nosy. You guys don't call it nosy, but I'm not a nosy person. I just need to get nosy and like dig in. But
It's
Well,
your
it's
job.
curiosity, right? It's curiosity.
yeah,
Interest. You need to know. We need to know what the situation is if we're going to help. Because how can we help? How can we know if this is a deal or if we can do anything with it if we don't know the details of it,
yeah.
right? And then for those sellers that are pushy, like give me the offer, give me the offer. They're hard pressing us for a number. It's like I don't have all the details yet. Like let me get all the details, and then we'll give you an offer we can stand behind. I wouldn't worry, Marcy, about not being able to if you weren't quick on your feet on this call, it's going to come with practice. The more you do this, Cody, could you have thought about these or heard those little and read between the lines and picked up on those little things a few months ago, 3 months ago? Would you have picked up on that 4 months, 6 months ago?
0%, because you're in crisis mode when you get the first call that you get. You're like, oh my God, you're not even breathing. You're like, what am I going to say? Is this person going to come through the phone and kill me or something? These are all the thoughts that we have. So absolutely not. You got to get comfortable and know you like incorporate that script or have it internalized so that you kind of know where you're going with the call. But that's a great point. You're not. It just takes time, and it takes reps. And you're doing it.
Well, I do feel like I see it actually. I just am not quick enough to respond to it, or I don't dig, or I don't I assume I know he's in pain. Oh, he's in pain. I hear it, and then I just send it on. But I need to get. I mean, I'd like to get on the acquisition team and be a closer. So I need to just get better at like digging and saying those things that I wonder about, but I just don't say them.
It'll come. But look at this. Let me tell you this. Like, listen to this call, and I'll keep it sort of brief so we can move on. But he said, you said, what's the best time to call back? What did he say? He said, if you're really interested, you call me back anytime, right? So how about this? You hang up the phone and you're like, there's some questions that I have on that. Can we call him back? Can I call him back? And then that right then, when he'll pick up again. Oh, hey, I forgot to ask you. The property specialist is going to want to know, is there a rule against calling people back here? Absolutely not. We call them, if you have another question, like, oh, I forgot to get that pillar, and you had a great call with them like that, you had great rapport with them, right? He's like, call me anytime, shit. So call him back. It's okay. Hey, I forgot to ask you. The property specialist is going to kill me if I don't say, and they'll answer your question, no problem. And the last part on that, I'll say about being uncomfortable asking these questions is the whole doctor analogy, right? We've all been to the doctor. We had maybe have something going on that we're embarrassed about or embarrassed to say. Does the doctor squeamish about it? Like, no, I'm hawking up green stuff and blah, blah, blah. And like, okay, and they come in, they're all in your face. You got, your bad breath from being sick. They're all in your face. They're like, does this hurt? Does that hurt? And they're all up in there, all up in the mix. They're asking these questions. All right, how are you pooping? Is your poop good? Is it pee? And you're like, yeah, I'm right. I'm making people uncomfortable in here, right? We're about to get uncomfortable. We ain't asking people about their health and everything. This is just the nuts and bolts of this transaction that we're trying to help with. The only way that we're gonna know is if we ask these questions. So it's not being nosy. It's not being rude. It's not being any of those things. It's like, hey, we're a professional here, doctor. Just like pretend you're a doctor diagnosing this problem. All right. Hey, Mr. Seller, you want to sell these things so quickly? Whoa, what's going on? Make feel on your tonsils here. Everything all right? What's going on? How's your heart? And we get your stethoscope out and do all that. You know what I mean? That's how you overcome. That's one way to overcome that. Like, hey, we need to get this information before we make a diagnosis and then move on to the solution, bring you the solution, right? That's the way we operate. We're professionals. We don't just throw medicine at the wall and throw treatments at the, oh, you have a headache? Oh, you need some Vicodin. Nah, we don't work like that. That's how everybody else does. Right? We're targeted. So just channel your inner doctor. Okay, we've got stethoscopes for everybody.
Absolutely. Yeah, Marcy, great call. Like, you're well on your way, and you're going to be in those lead manager acquisitions trainings really soon. So the task will be to call this guy back and get all those additional things. And you're not always going to get that on one call or even two calls. So, and time has to do its thing too. So, yeah, good stuff.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right, guys, we're kicking off a new series because our team is ramping up aggressively on foreclosure leads. and going after those, because there has been an uptick in foreclosures in this country, and a lot of people need a lot of help. So we're putting an entire team together, a task force. We've talked to you guys about it, some of the callers. You guys are going to get tapped on the shoulder and brought into the SEAL team, where we're going to be triple dialing these leads, and one of the people that's going to be heading that up is here in attendance, Nahid Alipur. She's here. We had a fantastic meeting today. She was here about a month ago, a few weeks back, and she talked about foreclosures and short sales. We're going to do a series. So for the next several Thursdays, we're going to be focused on foreclosures, short sales, having conversations about it, educating ourselves, educating other people in our industry about it, because a tremendous amount of people are going to be facing that, unfortunately, for many, many months to come. Is my opinion. And the stats are pointing towards that currently, and we'll see what happens. It's unfortunate, but there are tools in our tool belt that we can help with. And she has a lot of those answers in those tool belts because she's been doing it and she has a lot of experience with it. So hi, Nahid. Welcome.
Hi, how are you guys?
We're doing great. How you doing tonight?
Good, great. Glad to be here. Glad to be part of this team and heading this department, forging, going forward full force. And I've been, I don't know if any of you were on the call last time that I was here. I've been dealing with foreclosures since 2000, so it goes 24 years. And that's the only thing that I knew and I started. I don't, to be honest, don't know how to do the regular real estate deal. I am a real estate agent in Texas and California, but I'd never done a regular real estate deal. It's all been always dealing with foreclosure, helping homeowner to, deal with their lenders and negotiate with the lenders and trying to create a win-win for them. So there's definitely a method to it and a madness, and knowing the both side of what's going on. And also I in 2016 I kind of stumbled up on some investors that they deal with notes and mortgage and papers, and that's was when my total real estate career, I felt like it came to full 360, and I understood the homeowner side and I understood the lender side, so I can combine the two and figure out what they're looking for and where they at to make it work. I don't say I get all of it work because we're all human, but I've been having a pretty good success rate for that. And I am trying to put a kind of like a educational, as Shot said, piece together, or be here to educate you guys, because what I'm understanding, and this has been, it's not just you guys, it's just across the board. I mean, I deal with agents that they're like top number, on the 5% top agent in the whole nation, but they have no clue how to work with the foreclosures, or they have done like 20 deals last year, but they don't know the bit of it, how to deal with foreclosure. So I'm here to get you guys educated, get this team to be so efficient that it's going to be successful for all of us and the homeowners on this.
Absolutely. So guys, Nide's going to educate us about it. We're going to have a lot of questions for you guys that are going to be on the SEAL team and making those dials. So Nahid, if we could dive into, because this is something I'd love to learn more about myself. I'm just not that educated in it. And to your point, why would we be? Like, why would anybody know what the foreclosure process looks like unless you've been unfortunate enough to go through it, or you're a professional like yourself that has dealt with a bunch of them?
Right.
So would you mind just kind of giving us a breakdown of what does that process look like? So it's pretty evident to most people in the audience here, both in here on the Zoom and watching on YouTube and Facebook, that
Mhm.
foreclosure, they fell behind on their mortgage, right? But can you kind of break down the process of that? How does it start? What happens in the middle? What happens towards the end? What happens if they don't do anything? Kind of,
Sure. Sure. Basically, the way it works, our mortgage altogether, like if you put it together, it's contained of four parties. It's a borrower who borrows the money to purchase the property, lender who's lending the money, the investor, which it could be Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, any of that, and, and the servicer who's servicing the paper or the note or the mortgage. Sometimes on the big institute like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and all that stuff, they are the one that take care of they're servicing those, notes and mortgages. And they get the monthly, basically the accounting part of it and admin part of it for the lender, making sure that all the payments are where it's supposed to be, and they documents all of that because they could be audited by CFPB, and they have to have all of those things on ducks in a row. So then you have then you go through the whenever the homeowner it falls into distress and they won't be able to pay their mortgage or their payment, they start having, the lender start having a foreclosure process, meaning they're trying to work it out to see if they can remedy the mortgage, they remedy the payment, so making the homeowner come back to the table to start paying. From different state has different rules and different timeline. We have two different type of foreclosure, like two different type of state that they have their foreclosure process starts. One is judicial and one is non-judicial, and there are some state that falls in between those two. They do judicial and non-judicial. So what the judicial foreclosure is when the attorney files the lawsuit on behalf of the lender and or the investor. Sometimes the lender is not the investor. These loans will sell out in market, but that's a different topic. But anyway, the attorney files the lawsuit on behalf of the lender for the investor in court to foreclose on the home. Then they receive a copy of the compliance, sometimes called petition, which start the foreclosure. Then after a certain number of these days, the homeowner has to respond to the lawsuit, which is basically, it's going to be like a lawsuit, and if they don't file like answer to that lawsuit in the court, then they will have the court will grant a judgment to foreclose a home to the lender, and then they will have a sell date. Okay. And not, so basically judicial foreclosure, it's done through the court, by the court, with the lawyer. The non-judicial foreclosure is the one they just go, the attorney, or they have a trustee, that they will just go to the county courthouse and they file the, foreclosure, then they mail it to the borrower, and trying to see if they're going to, respond or not. And then after a certain amount of time, then they will have the, they have the notice of sale, send the notice of sale to them. Okay. I hope that it's kind of clear. If you guys have any question or anything, just let me know. So that way I can answer it for you, or you can just put it on the Q&A if there's a Q&A that you guys have. So
Nahid,
yes.
I'm sorry, can I interrupt and ask, with those two types of sales, the judicial and non-judicial, what are the implications for the seller or the borrower? How does that affect them differently, or if it does at all?
One is quicker than the other one is not. And, like on the judicial, the lawyer has to go to the court and file a lawsuit. So they have to wait till the court dates come. And then the homeowner has to be present in that, in that court date. And if it's not going to be, then they will have, the notice of sale. Automatically it's going to be a foreclosure because the homeowner wasn't there.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? In judicial, they just go to the county and file. So usually on that sense, it takes anywhere from 150 days to 250 days, like 3 to 6 months of to be start to finish.
Yeah.
So that's the implication for them. And in some states, they have to, after they go to court and file, they have to, the lender has to do what they call it, they have to put an advertisement in a newspaper, like in Michigan, and tell everyone, hey, this is the home, do you have any interest in it, this is what's going on. And they have to wait for that till before they can actually do the sale. So it just, depending on which state it is, what is affected is the timeline,
Got it. Thank you.
and what you have to work with. So, and in general, per CFPB, which is Consumer Bureau, no lender is obligated to work with the homeowner 37 days to auction by law. So if they are within that time, that they're 37 days to the auction, if you're trying to work out, with the lender, they could say, no, I'm sorry, you guys had time to bring this current and you didn't want to, so we're taking it to, we're foreclosing it. So it's very important that we reach all these homeowners and make them understand what is, what's the damage is going to be, or every day that is passed by, that it could hurt them more and there's no way back.
Mhm.
I had 2 that Shad brought in last week, so we had to take a different step because they were the day before a foreclosure, and the homeowner hasn't been paying for 4 years, and the lender was like, you had 4 years and you want me to stop the foreclosure today, the day before auction? We're not obligated to do it. which is completely understandable. And then at that point, you have to take a different route to ask them to, to force them to stop the sale. So we can help the homeowner or do whatever, option that we can come up with and do. So now, depending on all of these, depending on which state it is, they do have a redemption period that the homeowner can go back, or the lender has to wait to see if the homeowner is going to come back. This is after is being foreclosed, not during the foreclosure. So after they take the house, they sell it at the auction, nobody buys it, and they have to take it into their inventory and keep it in their portfolio. The homeowner still, in some state, has a chance to go back and either reinstate or, like start trying to do a workout with the lender. So it's really important to know which, states those are and which one has like what their redemption period is, So, then, what else? Now, when the foreclosure happens and you reach the homeowner and you're talking to them and they want help, you got to let them understand that, again, they don't have time, depending on what state. Like, for example, in Texas, it takes like 6 months for them to do completely, to start to finish. It takes like 3 months for them to send the notice of default. And this is another thing that you got to remember. None of the lender will start the foreclosure process or even talk for a workout or solution unless the homeowner is 3 months behind, 90 days behind, which is kind of unfortunate thing because, sometimes these homeowner, okay, they're behind in 2 months and they're okay, at the end of the 2 months and they're ready to start paying something, but they don't have the whole, like full 2 months or full 3 months. They're like, no, you got to be either 3 months behind completely to start the, workout, and you have to pay the full amount that you are behind plus late fees and all of that stuff. So it kind of makes it a little bit hard for them because, if they're kind of in the bind and they just want to start something and not go through foreclosure, it's kind of going to be tough, So their first payment is going to be late. And then, of course, the second payment is going to go to collection. And then the third payment that they haven't paid at the 90 days, it goes to a notice of default, and and then on 6 months, they're going to send the notice of trustee sale, NOS, the notice of trustee. And then a month later, they're going to have the auction date. And then pretty much they'll be done by that. And we want to get to them somewhere between the 90 days and the NOS, a notice of default. you know? I mean, we can't get, if we have the capacity to be able to get them beforehand, before those 3 months, that would be great. But I don't know any services that you'll be able to find, you know, that they're going to have that kind of data.
So Nigel, in every state, no matter if it's judicial or non-judicial, there has to be a minimum 90 days before the process can begin.
Yes. They're
That's
they're
like
not
a
even
federal
good.
law or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, they're not even going to entertain any kind of workout if they're not 3 months behind.
Okay.
So that's one keynotes that to understand. And then after that, they want the full 3 months plus the back, you know,
The recording
they
has stopped.
late, not the late payment. Oh my gosh. Like whatever they're behind and the fees and all that, that it's gonna get attached to it. You know?
After the 90 days, they're like delinquency.
Yeah.
fee.
Yeah, delinquency fee. Thank you.
I was
So
actually
yeah.
guessing. I don't know. I don't know.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
that's I sometimes I just forget my words. So yeah, the delinquency fee, whatever late fee that is going to get attached to that,
Yeah.
to their mortgage,
Uh-huh.
and have to pay those up, you know, upfront in order to make themselves whole and be back just paying their regular mortgage. There's no workout or nothing.
That's up to the lender though, right? Like do
Yes.
some lenders, have you seen some lenders be a little bit more flexible with that and try to work things out with
It just,
homeowners or?
I mean, I've seen so many different things that it's not even like funny. I had, I'm working on one in California right now that before we even send them anything, and before even homeowner ask for any help or workout, they have already put together like a loan mod and the repayment plan, not the loan mod, repayment plan for them, and send that offer to them already.
No,
Before,
Oh, thank God you're here.
huh?
probably because yeah, I'll mute you, Cody. You know, Cody's ordering burritos. No biggie.
That's okay. Yeah.
Probably because it's California, right? And they're like, hey, let's get ahead of this. Be nice to these people.
No, I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that. They bought the property actually, it's no equity property. So they bought the property, I believe it's at 2021, you know, and they paid 1 year, and it was a rental, their investor, it was their rental, and you know, the renter didn't pay, and then they found out that they used it as a meth lab, so
Oh
they
my
couldn't pay. Yeah. But the property still is in very good condition. It just need to be contaminated, like, you know, cleared up from all the,
So
yeah.
wait, what did you say though? The lender sent like a refinance notice to it, or what did the lender do?
Not refinance, it's send them a repayment. Like, you know, like, okay, you've been 6 months behind, I mean 3 months behind, so this is your new payment every month. If you pay us this much, which is include your payment and the late fees and whatever for 3 months,
Yeah.
you're back on your mortgage.
Why do you think that is? Is that because they don't want to deal with all the
Foreclosure, because the tsunami is happening.
Yeah.
They already know that if they don't start, then it will be way more, it will be hard to stop it.
Yeah.
And some of these are just a small lender.
Yeah.
Be me, you know, having 50 notes, or It could be like I have one of, my colleague that has 350 of them. It's nowhere near like Bank of America or Chase or something, but that's 300 that he can be flexible. He can make that work with the homeowner and still make it, get them back to be paying. Because banks make their money. Bank makes their money from loan and interest.
Yeah,
So
banks don't want to foreclose, do they? They don't
no,
like.
they don't. Because what happens, like I have a property in Texas that I've been working on since November of 2022. The homeowner hasn't been paying since 2018
In Texas?
in Texas.
Really? That's interesting.
Yes, and they didn't, went through like they didn't give them a notice of sell till I start getting involved. So if
How,
some
how
of
do they drag it out? Because I was under the impression Texas doesn't mess around. Don't mess with Texas. Like they're
it's not Texas. It's not Texas. It is the lender.
the lender. Oh, okay, got it.
Okay, it is the lender. Some of them they're like too big, and these things just get missed, fall on the crack, and
Mhm.
they just don't want to pursue it because they think, okay, maybe let's just find someone to get reached out to them. Like I was part of it back then in like 2003, 2004, that there was a company called Titanium that I was working with, that their only goal was to go knock on door, get the homeowner, and try to work it out for the lender, see what their problem is, and try to get some kind of a solution for them. Because it's going to cost them way more to keep these foreclosure than work it out.
Mm-hmm.
When the houses gets foreclosed, that's why you have a lot of these blighted properties all over the place, boarded out, and they're rotten, like Michigan is full of it.
Yeah, Detroit.
Yeah, that's how it was. Like you'll be able to like literally, I mean, I had one of my lender way back when, like on 2016, one of these lenders had a house in Memphis, 15 minutes away from Graceland, that they foreclosed on it, and they were going to sell it for $4,000.
Like total or 4,000?
Total for $4,000. I mean, we're talking about a gingerbread house, beautiful on an acre lot. And I was just like, at that time, I didn't know what I know now. I was not a remote investor. I did not have people, I had friends that were living in Memphis. They went and looked at the house. It was beautiful, but it was a squatter living there. They kind of like looked and find out, because the window was broken. But yeah, I mean, when they get desperate, they get desperate. And the small lenders, they go that route because it's going to cost them way more to keep those properties and, try to evict the person or whatever. So they don't want to spend any money on it. So it just getting to those homeowners and having these, knowing how to work with these process and who are they and what are they, it's going to make it, make it successful for everyone.
Absolutely. That's why we have you here. That's why we're putting that team together, and we're going to divide and conquer and help a lot of people and do well.
Yes.
So we're gonna do well while we're doing good. It's gonna
Yes.
be phenomenal. We have a couple of hands up here, and we did get you, spotlighted a little late because we were calibrating a call. Marcy was waiting a couple days to get her call calibrated, so I didn't want her to wait until Monday. So
That's
sorry
okay.
we got started late, guys. We're gonna do this every Thursday. So everybody that's watching, everybody that's here every Thursday for a while here, we're going to be working with Nahid, and she's going to come educate us because starting tomorrow, we're going to start ramping up the dials on that, for the SEAL team triple dial. But next week, Monday, we're going to really start hitting the ground running and generate a lot more of these. Put this as a focal point for the company. And everybody that's in it online watching, you guys are more than welcome to hop in here into the Zoom and ask questions directly every Thursday moving forward. Marcy has a question. She had her hand up, and Bagu, I'll get to you right after Marcy as well. I know you had a question. Marcy.
Yeah, I was just wondering, you were talking about the banks will sometimes do that plan. Is that different than a loan modification? What's a loan modification versus that plan where they'll just let you start, like give you a new payment and tell you this is your new
Okay.
payment, you know?
Okay, so this is the next step that happens when the homeowner goes to foreclosure. Okay, the lender try to find a solution to make them whole. So they have 5 or 6 plan in their sleeve that they try to work it out. The loan, one is the forbearance, which you guys like hear a lot, and a lot of investor wants to do that. Is that they want to, what they do is they make the whatever they're behind that 3 months or 6 months, whatever it is, we'll say is $10,000. They're gonna come and say, okay, you're late. The amount of your past due and everything is going to be $10,000. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this, put it in the back of your loan, and kind of hold it right here. Okay. And you're going through hardship. We're going to hold it for like 3 months. And you can start paying this plus your mortgage after that 3 months, and they call that a forbearance. So that way they can help the homeowner to not go, it won't be that hard for them. Depending again to the lender, sometimes they just put this in the back of the loan and they say, okay, you can just start your mortgage, or they, cut it up in small pieces, add it to their, mortgage, like what they did with this homeowner in California, or add that payment to their payment. Like, their payment was $1,000. Now they have to pay $2,000, the past due and this one together. So they call that a forbearance. Then another option that I have is a loan modification. And loan modification is they basically go through changing the whole loan. So if their loan was 30 years old, 30-year mortgage, they can get it to be a 40-year mortgage. They can change the rate in that. They can change the amount in that, which, changing any of, the rate and the time, it will change their mortgage payment. And they call that loan modification. And always when they change the rate, it is going to be higher. It goes with what's in the market right now. What's the interest rate in the market right now? So if they had a 3% interest rate. And now we're looking at 6.5%, 7% interest rate. Their credit is already shot out. So they're going to be on the high bracket of the interest rate at 7%, which is not going to help them at all whatsoever if they even extend their note from a 30-year to a 40-year.
Yeah, that doesn't really help much, right? I've heard bad
No,
things
not
about
these
that 30,
days.
40.
Yeah,
yeah.
not these days that mortgage rates are high. And they
Yeah.
give them 3 months. They put them to be in this plan for 3 months. And they have to do it religiously and on time. And if not, that's it. That's their last shot of getting worked out and being in their home.
Can I ask you a question that
Yeah.
I've always wondered about that I don't expect you to like you can basically just answer your opinion, because I don't expect you to have like hard concrete evidence of it or anything, but in your opinion, these banks that lent out all the for all these mortgages at 2.25%, 3%, 4%, well, they're paying the Federal Reserve like what 5.5% right now. So if somebody's falling behind and they got a 3.5% interest rate and the bank's paying 5.5%, are they eager to get that money off the books and foreclose? Are they more eager, in your opinion, to foreclose on that type of property than somebody that's at 7%? Or does that not matter? They don't care about that.
Now, the way the bank works, they have a program called BOLI or COLI. Basically, they have a life insurance that all the depositors' money goes to there. And it's secure in the life insurance. Yeah, bank don't have any life, but that is for corporation. And basically, the insurance company gives them anywhere from, it goes by what the market volatility is. It gives them anywhere from 7 to 60% interest on the money that they deposit.
16? 16?
60, depending,
Whoa. Wow.
because they're mirroring these kind of life insurances. It mirrors the index.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so
This meeting is being recorded.
meaning when the market goes up, they go up. When the market goes down, it zeros, it flats. They don't participate on a loss. So they always keep their upside. And when they put that chunk of money in there that they're getting from their depositor, you have $100,000 in your bank. Guess what? That $100,000 that you're putting in the bank, it is automatically going to be in that, COLI or BOLI, the life insurance policy that they have. And that will get a compounded interest. And that's how the bank don't care if you don't pay your they can go like 7 years and not getting paid for their loan, because their money is already liquid in that policy, getting accumulated compounding interest there. And they know this way also they're getting their money from you, whether it's 5% or 7% or whatever, plus all the fees.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So and on top of that, the money that they have lended, it's like for every dollar that they have, they create $10 of
Yeah.
the paper money. So it's not like real money.
Right. Yeah. I've heard about that.
Yes, they call it fractional, fractional lending. So it's like, for every dollar they lend out $10,
Right.
but the insurance company has to have $10 for every dollar that they are lending.
Oh, really? So it does balance.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So that's how they work, and that's what they, and this is something that we as a regular individual can do that, and have our own money that way work for us instead of giving it to the bank. But
Yeah.
they don't make it known to the public, because if they do that, then the banks can go out of out of business.
Yeah, absolutely.
They go out of business.
After we do a few of the foreclosure ones, one of the weeks we'd like to talk about infinite banking and how
Yeah.
that whole system, probably very fascinating.
Yeah.
My wife and I, we're gonna start doing that this year, later this year. 'Cause
Yeah,
that's-
yeah, definitely. And then this is for every corporation and every company. Most of if you can Google that, and you will see in most of the company, they have like life insurance on their executive. And when that executive is gone, they kind of like get that life insurance for the company, and they put it back in the company, and then that's how they have so much reserve
Amazing.
as a cash liquid, you know?
We have
So
two more questions. Bagu you had your hand up earlier. Did you have a question, Bagu?
No, because she just,
She
while
answered.
she was talking, she answered my question. I was about the loan modification, like if they did the restructure, would it be the current one or the one they had? So now that I
No.
understand, yeah.
on a loan modification, it's always going to change. That's what they call it, a modification. Because in the bank's eye, you couldn't pay or do the current one that you have. So let us work and find out what can work for you, so you can start paying back that money and the interest that you own. Whether we stretch the time, whether we change the rate, whether it's always involved both.
On both. So it wouldn't that then be considered, maybe I'm wrong here, wouldn't that be considered a brand new loan?
Yes, it's always going to be a brand new loan.
Okay.
So they're going to send you paperwork, they're going to send you, everything and closing and all that stuff, but they're not charging you for the closing.
Oh,
Yes, it's going to be a whole new, loan that they're going to send you, that you have to
basically.
sign.
So wouldn't it,
Interest rates drop?
wouldn't it be more then?
So what?
I'm thinking it would be more than what you are currently paying.
Absolutely.
To be more, so then
Like right now, no loan
up for the-
modification, no loan modification makes sense right now.
that's
Because
what I was gonna ask.
yeah, right. Because they always have to bring it to the current rate. Maybe they start a little bit, like at the high side, and then they drop it to what is today is. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
'cause
it is always going to come to the current rate.
Yeah, because I was thinking if I was the seller and I'm thinking then what are my choices? If that happens, then I'm gonna end up mostly then foreclosing because I can't. I was just trying to think of like their options. What are their
Okay,
options?
so I'm just going to tell you guys straight. I went through foreclosure myself in 2011, and I got a loan modification. All right, but because I am an investor and I have other property, they're not like really, wanting to do that, because they're like, well, sell one of your property and pay what you got. You know what I mean? And all that stuff, because basically they're trying to get their money, so they wherever they can get that, whether they you have a 401k, cash, whatever, that's what they ask for, all your statement, all your finances and all of that stuff, to see what how you can repay that money. So I started at 5%, where the the rate was at 3 at that time, 2011. But the incentive was that if you pay, for every month, we'll deduct 1,500. I think it was 1,500, or it was like the 2,000 off your principal. And if you're on time for this period of the time, I don't remember, it was like a year or something like that, every 6 months or every year that you are on time and you never been late, your rate is going to drop and it will stop at 3.75.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, so that's how they, they work out with people.
Yeah,
And
'cause I think what would be the advantage for the seller to do the mode verification, or would it be an advantage for them?
oh, it will be for sure. It is advantage for them because right now I have my mortgage is at 40 years old, 40-year mortgage. I've already had paid 10 years of it back then. So I'm back to being 40 years. They still get their interest way more than what they have,
Yeah.
So it is not, it's really, in a way, it's not advantage for a homeowner. It's more for the bank. So
Yes,
that's
right.
why we need to learn how to be the bank.
Wow, this was amazing. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Yeah, and one day, guys, we're gonna break down why loan remodel is a horrible idea. Especially
Yes.
like in Knight's case, yeah, when you pay off 10 years and then you go refi, it's not because of choice, obviously, right?
Yeah.
And they came out with this program like a year and a half ago, and now that I'm getting up on game, I was like, oh my God, they're fleecing America right now. And when
Yeah.
they introduced this 40-year thing, it was like,
Yeah.
oh my goodness.
That's horrible.
The worst.
Unless you are, it it is kind of like a different perspective how you look at it and also what your goal is. All right.
Yeah.
If you want to have liquid money, let's put it this way. You have a house that is worth $1.5 million and you keep putting money so it will, you reduce your mortgage. Well, market goes down, guess what? Your value goes down. So you don't have that value of $1.5 million anymore. Right? So, and something happened, you need money. You need liquid cash.
Yeah, if you have equity, yeah.
If you have equity, how are you gonna get that equity?
Yeah. But it costs them so much more. We're going to break this down on a mortgage calculator for everybody just to
Yes.
show you how much that money will cost you. It's going to cost you a whole hell of a lot more. And you might be better, honestly, might be better off just getting it on a credit card at 28% if that's an option. It's iffy because that's also
I have a different strategy that we'll compare both and we'll see which one is going to work. That's through the infinite banking part.
Oh, I already know that one's gonna win. So, but I'd love to hear it, and I'm sure I'll learn something. Everybody here will learn something. One more question before we wrap up here, Jose. You had your hand up. Jose G, what's up, buddy? What's your question?
Yeah, I wanted to know how far from the auction date does the homeowner have to be for them to get help? Because sometimes we get a homeowner that's like, I only got 2 weeks before he gets to auction, or I have 3 weeks to get into auction. Is there still time for them to get help?
Yeah, I mean, anytime it will good, as I said, by law, the lender don't have to offer any kind of workout 37 days to the auction.
Okay.
But not that doesn't, I mean, I have stopped auction on the auction time on the last minute on the block. It's just, again, it depends on the lender that they want to be working with you or they don't want to work. And the investor wants to work keep that, work with the homeowner or don't want to work. So ideal is the more time we have to work with them, we will be able to be more helpful. But, if not, even on the
So
day
that's
of
the
the
inside.
auction, yeah,
Yeah, so Jose, for you on the phones, you don't want to tell people like, yeah, we could stop it the day of, I mean, we technically need 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Don't say that.
Yeah.
The answer you're going to tell people is the more time we have, the better, because it's going to take time for us to contact the bank, get their response, go back. There's a whole back and forth. There's a lot of paper. There's a lot involved. So time is of the essence. We need to get on this right now. I need to get my team on it. I need to get, we need to get the ball rolling on it ASAP.
Yeah, just for the simple fact that, first of all, the lender will not talk to anybody unless they have authorization from the homeowner.
Mhm.
So
Right.
we either have to have the homeowner on the phone with us, which sometimes is going to take 2 hours, 3 hours before we can get to any results. So they need to have the time, to be able to be on the phone with us. If not, that authorization is going to take at least 48 hours to be in lender's system for them to see that there is someone that is out there, has an authorization from the homeowner to speak on their behalf. So, if they wait too long, then sometimes we can't. So when files comes in that they have an auction of the next day or the day after tomorrow, we have no choice but having the homeowner on the phone with us to give us the verbal authorization to be able to, talk to the bank. And that verbal authorization sometimes is for 6 months, sometimes for that phone call. So, if we can't get to any resolution on that phone call, we are going to be out of luck.
Yeah.
So
We're going to break down a lot more of these, Jose. You are one of the people that's going to be on the SEAL team there. I don't know if Diana and LB already talked to you about it or not, but you guys are going to be getting some specialized training from Nahid, from Alex, and Ali, and then we'll be working with like TJ, Cody, like the whole team here. We're going to be doing a lot of those. Thursdays is dedicated. For a while here, we're going to be doing a special series for foreclosures, short sales, and then also infinite banking, because it's really interesting. So we're definitely going to set one night aside here for infinite
Yeah.
banking. My mind was blown when I first heard about that. Now he specializes in that. You have you have to have a license to that, right? You have the
Yeah.
license. Yeah.
Yes.
So she's an expert at that as well. I was mind blown, just fascinated by that. There's this whole other world out there that the banks, corporations, and ultra wealthy people don't really talk about a whole lot. But
Yep. That's why Trump only paid $700 in his taxes.
yeah.
We want to be on that bracket for sure.
Absolutely. Heck yeah. Absolutely.
Keep all our money to ourselves because we work too hard for it. We work too hard for it to even lose a penny of it to
Yeah.
anybody. Yeah.
So we'll
And
have a special breakout for that one. I can't wait until next Thursday, June. I'm sure everybody here will have some burning questions, and we can carry on this conversation. We're going to see you before then. The team will see you probably tomorrow and next week as well before our next Thursday meeting. But if you guys have friends in real estate, this is the new hotspot to be on Thursday nights when it comes to foreclosures, short sales, and this whole new endeavor that we're embarking on, and a lot of people can watch us and grow with us, and learn while we're going through this from a master at work. So super excited about it. It's going to be amazing. Nigel, thank you so much for joining us tonight and enlightening us. You've sparked some ideas here. I took notes. I'm gonna formulate more of my questions for next week. I encourage everybody here to do the same. Get your questions put together. And again, if you have friends in real estate or somebody looking to get started in real estate, have them hop on with us, and they can bring their questions and calls, and we're all here to get better together. So
Yeah, for sure.
awesome.
I'm glad and I'm honored to be here with you guys, and don't hesitate. I'm here to help you guys wherever you need to go and whatever you need to do.
Thank you so much. We
You're
really appreciate you.
No,
Thank you guys. Thanks everybody. Cody, Graham, Diana, TJ.
Yeah, sounds cool. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you, Naeed.
no
Okay.
problem. Anytime.